Hey guys, this is Chris with GameStrafe and TGN, and we are taking a look at some Allods Online. And today I'm just going to go over the character creation system. I'm going to go over pretty much every little detail and aspect of it, and talk a little bit about the game, and kind of just introduce it a bit more. And as you can see here, we've got two factions. We've got League and Empire. I'm going to start out with the League. It's basically interactive painting, so you can kind of choose your class here, and it will tell you on the bottom a little bit what it's about. So let's start out with the League Paladin. And we'll go in here and kind of warp us through this nice painting. Now, right off the bat, gorgeous high-res textures, vibrant colors. Does it look like World of Warcraft? Yes, but, you know, the textures are, I would say, a little bit more high-res than WoW, and the poly count is higher in terms of the player models. So you're going to get a little bit better quality from this game. I know WoW's improved over the years in terms of their expansion packs, but right off the bat, for this free-to-play game, good in the art department. So as long as their gameplay is good, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, here we have the Canian race, which is basically the humans for the League, and as you can see, we've got their paladin archetype. However, when you choose a race, an archetype, that changes your overall class. So as a Canian paladin, you're a crusader. If I were to go elven paladin, I'm a Templar. So that changes there, and then they have different, I guess, benefits or ways they fight and things like that, which I'm not 100% sure yet. I'll look into that a little bit later. But let's go back to the Canians and take a look at some things. What can we do here with the faces? So we got face. Different number of faces here you can kind of go through. Looks like 13 total faces. So it'll give you some varieties. Facial features for these guys is pretty much facial hair. Hairstyles. One thing about the hairstyles in this game too is that they fit with the model. In a lot of games you have hairstyles that look like silly putty, that they don't match the model. For some reason, hair is always difficult, it seems. Skin tones and figure in this game is actually height and width. So as you see from here, 7 to 6, I'm a little shorter and beefier. So let's de-equip here so you can get a better idea of that. So height, width. So average build, thicker build, things like that. So you can get a good variety. So I say overall, there's a decent variety in what you can do here, even though it's not slider bar. This is actually to my liking because it's a little bit more simplistic. Nice proportions on the women, really nicely done. Again here with the figure, height and width, a little bit. Nothing too crazy, which is good. Skin tones. Additional features for the ladies, I believe, is makeup. Oh, sorry, makeup. Yep, looks like makeup. Hair colors. Hairstyles. Zoom out a little bit. Again, nice hairstyles for the ladies. You can always be more creative with the women. Facial features. Jewelry. Faces. Another nice thing about this character creator is the characters are standing still. They're not moving around or spazzing out. Like some games are spazzing out, you can't see the looks. And I can zoom all the way in to the... Zoom all the way out, zoom all the way in. So it's a really good character creation interface. Let's switch races. Let's go to the Gibberlings, and they're naked. I don't want them to be naked. Okay, the Gibberlings, I think they've won a couple awards in terms of most original race in an MMO. And the cool thing is it's one character, but technically it's one character, but you have 3 little people here. And you can change the look of each one of, each of your party guys here. So you play it as one character, but it's 3. So you can, change male, female, which I guess just changes the main one, and then it gives you a couple different per, and then you can go through each one and change their looks, so you can change their faces. Facial features, which is like beards for the guys, and the hairstyles, skin tones, and of course figure for these, make them a little taller or beefier. And same thing, so if you do female as the main one. So again, archetype psionicist, if I'm saying that right. Scout is a trickster. Warden, animist. Brawler for their warrior. So again, really just unique, original little races there. And I think, okay, we got the elves too. Elves in this game have wings, which is neat. And they float, so when you run around with these guys, they kind of hover as they move forward, which is an interesting little aspect. And you know what? It's nice if you're going to have elves. They gave them wings, so it kind of threw something a little bit different there, and the wings are well rendered and everything. So let's take a look at these guys. Let's see, we got some more face selections there. Facial features seem to be piercings. Hairstyles, again, really nice hairstyles. Elves always have cooler hairstyles. I don't know why. They're just more jagged or anime-ish sometimes, but hair colors, skin tones, and figure. One thing I wanted to point out with the female elves when you de-armor them is that they're in lingerie, which is definitely interesting, to say the least. But I'm not complaining, not at all. Let's take a look at the male variant. Aw, man, come on. Crotch tat? So let's look at their facial features again. Looks like a little bit of facial hair for the elves. Hairstyles. Looks like kind of more of the emo, grunge, rock band hairstyles. Not bad though, they look cool. Hair colors. Skin tones and figures, basically, again, sizes. So let's take a look. Archetype Paladin makes him a Templar. Archmage for the mage. Priest for the healer. Demonologist for the summoner. So again, you have those. So that's that. Again, their wings look a little bit different. Let's go back out. Let's take a look at the Empire, which is, in theory, the bad guy faction, but honestly, it just kind of looks at, it's kind of your point of view. Alright, right off we have Paladin archetype, Avenger. This is their human race with the Zataganians, if I'm saying that right. With the, well, let's face it, he's got a interesting mustache there, you know. Let's see. Oh, uh-oh. Alright, we got the hair. How about the color? Can't do black, but yeah, that kind of looks like somebody. I don't know who. I'm not, you know, I mean, but yeah, that, anyway. It's moving right along. Let's change that up a bit. So, again, nice armor. Excellent texturing, and just, I like when there's addition, when there's pouches and packs here. It kind of adds to it. Go through a couple faces. Facial features, more piercings, hairstyles, hair coloring, skin tone, and so, you know, it's just kind of this, it's kind of similar to the League human race, basically. Not too much different there. So it's what, Avenger for their Paladin, Stalker for their Scout, Healer is an Inquisitor, Defiler for their Summoner, Mentalist, and Vanquisher. These guys cool. They kind of have like it's kind of like a spoof on the German helmet. So it's kind of cool. It's almost like it's fantasy, but it has this almost mix of World War II era, 1940s era, steampunkish elements in a way. So like this armor, you know, it's fantasy, but it does have that element of, you know, World War II German armor, and obviously with, if you go, you know, Paladin, for example, this has got the Russian kind of look to it. So that's really cool. Let's go to the orcs. So we got a female orc here. Get rid of the helmet with the Scout. The shaman. The shaman's cool because you got this little pet and you can alter the color of the pet. But we got some different facial features here with female orcs. Still hard to make a good looking female orc, but you know, whatever. Hairstyles, hair colors, additional features, which is facial tattoos, which is cool. Make them look like badasses, skin tones, and figures, of course. Check out the male orcs, though. They are huge. These guys are bosses. You don't want to mess with this guy. I mean, if we look at the figure size, these guys are big. Warden, look at the Brute, Reaver, Marauder, Shamans. Let's go back to... Yeah, you don't want to tango with this guy. Look at this armor. This armor is badass. So, again, facial features, facial hair for these guys, hairstyles. These guys will comb over there. More facial tats. So, really badass looking guys. Good rendition of the orcs. These guys, this would be their original race here, the Arisen, and these guys look like something from Warhammer 40k. I can't remember the faction name, but these guys look really cool too. Definitely wouldn't want to run into these guys. They're pretty creepy looking, but it's really cool looking. Hairstyles here. Kind of like some ancient Egyptian looking armor too. Facial tats, skin tones, figure again, sizes, and the female obviously has their own looks and everything too. So it's cool that you can get really close up to the player. Now this game, for those of you that don't know, it's published by G Potato or Galanet. And it's developed by a Russian developer, Nivel Entertainment, I believe, or a different division of Nivel. And this game, Allods, actually comes from something called Rages of Mages from like 1998, and they had games going back a long time ago. So the game has a big history. It didn't just come out, you know, only as an MMO, so it's got backstory and everything already to it, and it does have its own elements of like I said, a fantasy mix with kind of that more, I think, 1940s era industrial look. And like, I know if you pick Empire, you're gonna get more of an industrial mechanical feel. Whereas if you pick League, you're going to kind of get more of a, maybe a, I guess, fantasy feel, traditional fantasy feel. So it's kind of cool that there is that separation. Derobed. Oh yeah, look at that. Again, really, I praise them on their originality of the races. You know, we haven't seen these things before. They have some old, some new, and that's good. Mix it up a little bit, you know. You can dare to be different, and just good overall styling. So that's neat. But guys, I think that's it for my look at the character creator. As you can see, there's a lot of different ways to look in this game, and that's crucial to an MMO. And while it's a fairly simplistic character creation system, I think it's really good enough, because you have figures, faces, hairs, and hair color and all that stuff, and then mixed with the different archetypes. That's more than enough for me to get into a game. I don't need character bar sliders, and I don't need to have crazy looking characters in game. And so they do give you plenty of options, and that's quite alright with me. So guys, thanks. I hope you've enjoyed this little look at the Allods Online Character Creator. Join me next time as we take a look at some of the gameplay, and take a look at gamestrafe.tgn.tv as well as the other TGN network sites, and join us for more. Thanks guys.